Elon Musk, tech titan, visionary entrepreneur, and now vocal supporter of Donald Trump? The very idea seems like something out of a satirical news show. Yet, here we are. Musk, the man who promised to colonize Mars, is now hitching his wagon to the former president's 2024 campaign. It's a move that has shocked many, delighted some, and left the rest of us scratching our heads in bewilderment. Musk's embrace of Trump is a head-spinning turn of events, to say the least. The two men on the surface couldn't be more different. One, a brash, Twitter-happy showman with a penchant for controversy. The other, a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist who just so happens to be one of the richest men alive. And yet, despite their differences, these two titans have found common ground. Their unlikely alliance is a testament to the strange, unpredictable times we live in. It's a time when the lines between politics, technology and entertainment have become increasingly blurred. And it's a time when anything, it seems, is possible. But what does this unexpected partnership mean for the future of American politics? What does it say about the state of our democracy? And perhaps most importantly, what the hell is Elon Musk thinking? The image was striking. Elon Musk on stage at a packed Trump rally, microphone in hand, a sea of MAGA hats stretching out before him. The atmosphere was electric, charged with anticipation and fervor. This wasn't a scene from a dystopian political satire. It was a moment that felt surreal, almost like a page torn from an alternate reality. It was real, and it sent shockwaves through the political landscape. The news spread like wildfire, igniting debates and discussions across the nation. Musk's appearance at the rally was a watershed moment. It marked a significant shift in the political dynamics, a moment that would be analysed and dissected for years to come. It was the culmination of months of subtle hints and not-so-subtle tweets, all pointing to his growing affinity for Trump and his brand of populist politics. But this was different. This was a bold, public declaration. This was a full-throated, unambiguous endorsement, delivered with the kind of showmanship that would make even Trump himself blush. Musk's charisma was on full display, captivating the audience. "We need a fighter in the White House," Musk declared to the roaring crowd. His words resonated deeply with the audience, striking a chord with their desires and frustrations. "We need someone who isn't afraid to speak their mind, someone who will challenge the status quo, someone who will make America great again." The crowd erupted, their cheers echoing through the arena. The energy was palpable, a collective roar of approval and excitement. For them, this was a major coup. The world's richest man, a self-made billionaire, was now one of them. He was on their side, lending his voice and influence to their cause. The crowd erupted, their cheers echoing through the arena. For them, this was a major coup. The world's richest man, a self-made billionaire, was now one of them. He was on their side. But for many others, it was a moment of disbelief and dismay. How could this be happening? How could the man who promised to save humanity from climate change and usher in a new era of technological progress now be throwing his weight behind a man who many see as a threat to democracy itself? He was on their side. But for many others, it was a moment of disbelief and dismay. How could this be happening? How could this be happening? How could the man who promised to save humanity from climate change and usher in a new era of technological progress now be throwing his weight behind a man who many see as a threat to democracy itself? How could the man who promised to save humanity from climate change and usher in a new era of technological progress now be throwing his weight behind a man who many see as a threat to democracy itself? The juxtaposition was stark and the implications were profound. The world watched, waiting to see what this new alliance would bring. It wasn't always like this. Elon Musk, the enigmatic entrepreneur, was once seen as a figure who stood above the fray of partisan politics. In the beginning, Musk presented himself as a political agnostic, a non-partisan figure who believed in the power of technology to transcend political divides. He was the quintessential Silicon Valley innovator, focused on pushing the boundaries of what's possible. He even served on an advisory council to Trump during the early days of his presidency, arguing that it was important to engage with those in power regardless of their political affiliation. Musk believed that by being at the table, he could influence policy in a positive direction. But as Trump's presidency wore on, marked by controversy, scandal, and a growing sense of unease, Musk's stance began to shift. The political landscape was becoming increasingly polarized, and Musk found himself at odds with the administration on several key issues. He publicly clashed with the Trump administration over issues like climate change and immigration, even resigning from the advisory council in protest. This move was seen as a bold statement, signaling his disapproval of the administration's policies. For a while, it seemed like Musk was charting a more independent course, one that transcended the traditional left-right political divide. He was vocal about his disdain for political correctness and wasn't afraid to criticize both sides of the aisle. He spoke out against political correctness, criticized what he saw as the excesses of both parties, and positioned himself as a champion of reason and progress. But then, something changed. The whispers started, the cryptic tweets, the subtle nods to Trump and his supporters, It was as if Musk had undergone a political metamorphosis, shedding his skin of neutrality and embracing the MAGA mantle with open arms. It was as if Musk had undergone a political metamorphosis, shedding his skin of neutrality and embracing the MAGA mantle with open arms. His tweets became more aligned with the rhetoric of the Trump base, and his public appearances started to reflect this new alignment. The reasons for this transformation are complex and multifaceted. Some see it as a natural evolution of his libertarian beliefs, while others view it as a strategic move to align with a powerful political faction. Some point to Musk's libertarian leanings, his distrust of government regulation, and his belief in the power of the individual. These principles have always been a part of his philosophy, and they resonate strongly with the Trump base. Others speculate that it's all part of a calculated business strategy, a way to curry favor with a powerful political base and advance his own interests. By aligning himself with Trumpism, Musk may be positioning himself to benefit from policies that favor his business ventures, from space exploration to electric vehicles. Section 4. Funding the MAGA machine. Musk's support for Trump goes beyond mere words. His actions speak volumes about his commitment to the former president's cause. He's put his money where his mouth is, becoming a significant financial backer of the Trump campaign. This isn't just a casual endorsement, it's a substantial financial commitment. While the exact amount of his contributions remains undisclosed, the impact of his financial support is undeniable. Sources suggest that Musk has poured millions into Trump's war chest, bolstering the campaign's resources significantly. This makes him one of the campaign's top donors, a position that comes with considerable influence and power. This financial support is a clear indication of Musk's commitment to Trump's political ambitions. It's a strategic move that aligns with his broader goals. It's one thing to tweet out words of praise or appear at a rally. These actions are visible and public, but they don't necessarily translate into tangible support. It's quite another to open up your wallet and pour vast sums of money into a political campaign. This kind of financial backing can make or break a campaign. Musk's deep pockets have given him an outsized influence in American politics, allowing him to shape the political landscape in ways that align with his interests. This financial power allows him to bankroll candidates and causes that align with his worldview, effectively amplifying his voice in the political arena. And with his newfound embrace of Trump, that influence is now being directed towards the MAGA movement. This has significant implications for the future of American politics. This has raised concerns about the growing influence of wealthy donors in American politics. The power of money in politics is a contentious issue, and Musk's involvement has only intensified the debate. Critics argue that Musk's financial contributions are giving him undue influence over policy decisions, potentially skewing the political landscape in his favor. This kind of influence can shape the political landscape in ways that benefit the wealthy and powerful, often at the expense of ordinary citizens. Musk, for his part, has defended his political spending, arguing that he is simply exercising his rights as a citizen. He contends that he has a right to support the candidates and causes he believes in, just like any other citizen. He's framed his contributions as an act of free speech, a fundamental right protected by the Constitution. For Musk, these contributions are a way to make his voice heard in the political arena, ensuring that his views and interests are represented. The debate over the role of money in politics is far from over, and Musk's involvement has added a new dimension to this ongoing discussion. As we look to the future, the influence of wealthy donors like Musk will continue to shape the political landscape, raising important questions about the nature of democracy and representation in America. Section 5. A firestorm erupts. Musk's very public embrace of Trump ignited a firestorm of controversy, setting social media ablaze and sparking heated debates across the political spectrum. It was a Rorschach test for a nation deeply divided, with reactions falling largely along partisan lines. Trump supporters, predictably, were ecstatic. They hailed Musk as a visionary leader, a courageous truth-teller, and a welcome addition to their ranks. They saw his endorsement as a sign that their movement was gaining momentum, attracting support from even the most unexpected of places. But for Musk's critics, his embrace of Trump was nothing short of a betrayal. They accused him of hypocrisy, of abandoning his principles, and of using his wealth and influence to prop up a dangerous demagogue. They questioned his motives, his judgment, and his sanity. The backlash was swift and fierce. #boycott Tesla began trending on Twitter, with many vowing to never again purchase one of his electric cars. Others called for boycotts of SpaceX, his space exploration company, and the Boring Company, his tunneling venture. The media too weighed in, with some commentators expressing shock and disappointment, while others saw it as a shrewd, if cynical, move by a master manipulator. Late-night talk show hosts had a field day, with Musk becoming the butt of countless jokes and satirical sketches.